I like documentaries, but I'm not sure how I feel about the people who make documentaries. Like this film, for example. When my creative partner and myself started out, we intended to do a more or less straight-ahead profile piece on a local designer and seller of goth metal clothing, Alexander Kosheva.
So I think it's important to be honest about how I feel about this film,
All right.
how I feel about Alex, our subject. Just kind of complex because...
Yeah, well, he's a very complex, contradictory guy here and everything. He's certainly
and the way I feel about him is pretty complex and contradictory.
And I haven't even met the guy yet, and I'm still...
I'm really curious to see what you're going to think about him, because I really like him, mostly.
But when we pitched our idea to our class, visiting filmmaker Michael Glawogger threw a firecracker down our backs. He seemed convinced that it was the interplay between John and myself that was actually of interest.
So what can I do for you?
While John and I were both more than perplexed about the idea of inserting ourselves into our own film, our brief encounter with Glawogger was a rare sort of Easter egg.
Shots of him. Okay. So I'm always talking about foreground and background. You could also have him like while you're talking in front, and so he just sits there like a little kid and dressing, cross-dressing, taking off his shirts, whatever, and you talk about him like I do now talk about you. That was my idea. You can take it or leave it.
So Alex, what do you think?
Let's do it!
So we did it.
Originally our film would have looked and sounded something like this.
Alexander Kosheva is a local designer of goth metal clothing and a self-described punk rock capitalist. He began designing and making his own clothing back in 2008 when he was studying Chinese literature at the University of Michigan. After graduating with honors, Alex moved to Seattle to pursue fashion design studies and further his business, Metal Artisan Studios. His goal was and is to make clothing that looks the way heavy metal sounds. In a lot of ways, we thought it would be a good idea to try and play it straight. Just casually slide in, unnoticed, and let Alex do his thing.
Okay. Isn't that an amazing feeling right there?
Part of the punk capitalism deal is selling on the fly and working out of his room. So we took a trip out to headquarters.
Perfect setup where I can watch the levels and participate in speaking to you at the same time.
Okay. So yeah, the most people who have ever been in this room is 3 right now. Like, this is the most packed it's ever been.
With a camera and a boom mic.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, but the thing is that what I liked about it was like the conversation or the sort of strange dialogue you two guys had about it, because you're so different in your appearance and also in your character, but you have this character, you talk about it, and it would be like this, like I would be the weird guy.
So basically this is where, you know, yin yang with the meta thing.
Right.
And it's kind of like, you know...
Which I still think is kind of like pretentious and pointless, but...
It is.
If he doesn't like you, that you talk too much about him, he can do this. And then you constantly talk about him.
I mean,
I just think, okay, so the whole, like, it just strikes me as... How should I put this?
Let it hang out.
And he will like it because it's funkier than just a normal portrait.
Pretentious and pointless and diverting focus away from things. Like, oh, this is a movie about us making a movie about making a movie. It's like, you know, every time you add that, you're getting away from it really being about anything other than itself.
Right.
And it just becomes more and more kind of decadent and masturbatory.
This was a real breakthrough for us. None of us really wanted it to be this way. Not me, not John, certainly not Alex. But at the same time, I don't think it could have gone any other way.
Yep.
So I know Alex isn't crazy about this film, but what can you do? I guess I'm not eager to please.